everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentina in case you've never seen one of my videos, and today I'm going to walk you step by step on how to achieve this look. It is perfect for a night out or who knows, a date now that Valentine's Day is coming very soon. I really enjoy doing this makeup look, so if you want to learn how I did it, then keep on watching. As you can see, I already have my eyebrows done. This is because I already have a full video of how to do your eyebrows in 2021. I will link it if you still need a little bit of help with your eyebrows, so you can go and have a look at that. But this way we can spend a little bit more time in the actual makeup look instead of spending a lot of time in the eyebrows. Today I'm going to start with the skin. I will be using the concealer from Tarte, and I'm going to use two different shades, one in the shade light golden and one in the shade medium tan honey. This is to add a little bit of depth to the face and match it a little bit more with my skin in the body, which is a little bit tanner, especially because we are still in summer here in Australia. So first I'm going to add in the center of the face the lighter shade. I am also going to add the dark color foundation in the outer parts of my face. So you can see it's a very different color, but once it's all blended together, it's going to work perfect. And I do like to add a little bit of that foundation in my eyelids. Once the foundation is already blended, you can see that it actually looks a little bit more natural than when you apply just one shade of foundation and lose all of the shape of your face. Whether with this one you start helping to contour your face a little bit at first instead of using just a very dark shade in the end. I do like to give this foundation a little bit of time to set in the skin and to settle a little bit before going on top with anything else. And also I think it's a very dewy foundation, so I feel I'm a little bit too oily. So before going in with the next product, I'm going to use one dry sponge and I'm just going to tap it where I feel it's too shiny and too oily, and that's going to take a little bit of that product off, but it's still going to leave the pigment that I put. But you want to give it a little bit of time before going in with this step, because you don't want to take off the foundation. It's okay that we're still a bit shiny. We're going to apply powder in the end anyway. Now I'm going in with concealer. I'm going to use the Prolongwear concealer. This is in the shade NC20, so it's going to be a lighter concealer. I'm going to use this not just to cover my under eyes that I don't think that I have a lot, but I do have a little bit of pigmentation over here, so you can see a difference between my under eye and the pigmentation. I want to cover that a little bit, even though I feel it's already covered with the foundation, but I do want to add a little bit of light. So I'm going to mix this with a drop of oil. This is the rosehip oil from Mario Badescu. So I'm going to mix them together and apply them under my eye, but not very close to the lash line, a bit more right here, and then blend it upwards. And I do like to extend the concealer all the way up so I can create that shape with my face, highlight my face that way. And everything that I put on top of my foundation, I'm going to blend it by tapping on top. I do like to put a little bit of concealer here as well, just because I have a little bit of pigmentation in the nose as well. And I also like to blend everything that is on my nose with my finger. I don't know why, but I feel that that gives it more, like a more natural texture in the nose. I feel like foundation and every product that you put in your nose tends to give away that you're actually wearing foundation, even though this is, you know, it's very noticeable, but I still want to give the more natural effect. And I also want to put a little bit of that concealer around my mouth, just to highlight it a little bit. And also what's left in the brush, a little bit in the forehead around here, so I can highlight around my eyes as well. Not around my eyes, in the middle of my eyebrows. So like in the center of the face, you know what I mean. If I need to conceal anything around this area of my face or something that I don't want to highlight, I am going to use this concealer. This is the Marc Jacobs Accomplice concealer in the shade Light 23. And now that all of my foundation and color skin is done, I'm going to set everything with powder, and I am going to bake a little bit my under eyes. To set everything, I'm going to use the Chanel loose powder. I'm going to press it with a large fluffy brush so I don't take a lot of product with my brush. That way I can make sure that I'm setting everything. And because this makeup is meant to be for a date night or to go out at night and you want this to last a long time, you are going to see how I use different types of powder, and I am going to use a lot of powder in a way, not a lot of powder at the same time, but I am going to be using different types of powder just to make sure that everything is set and is going to last all night. Right, so everything is set now. I am going to use another powder now, just in the center of my face to blur a little bit of the pores. I am going to use the Charlotte Tilbury powder for this, and I'm not going to put it under my eyes, just in the center of the face, so like around here where I have the biggest pores, and a little bit in the forehead. And finally, I'm going to bake my under eye, and for that I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish powder, and I'm going to apply it with a dry sponge. This is also going to help me to brighten a lot my under eye, and I can now start working my eyes. For my eyes, I want to start by using this Mellow Cosmetics Treasure Chest eyeshadow palette, and this is the main color that I want to use. I've never used it before, and I'm very interested on how it looks. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I don't have any creases in my eyelids and that I am actually setting those up, because I do prefer to work with a set lid than a sticky one. I think that everyone has a different opinion about this, but in my case, I do prefer to do it this way. So I'm going to take that rose gold shadow. I know it's a little bit more bronzy, but the name is actually rose gold. And I'm going to use it in the outer part of my lid. Kind of like creating, ooh, that's a beautiful eyeshadow. So I'm going to start creating a little bit of an eyeliner, but very soft. I'm actually going to change my brush to blend it out upwards, just because it's so pigmented that I'm afraid that if I continue using this one, I'm going to apply too much product. Wow, I am obsessed. I was not expecting that. I thought I had to put a glitter on top. Wow. So I'm going to blend it just because I want to have a softer effect first. I am going to apply a little bit more after, and I'm going to add a little bit of more of depth, but I do want to create a soft blend effect before, just so I can make sure that all of the shadows that I put afterwards are going to blend perfectly. And it's not the first time I used Mellow. I used the other palette. This one is just a little bit too neutral for me, but now that I use this eyeshadow, I think I'm going to reach out a lot more. So I am basically blending it outwards. See that I'm going like even outside my eyebrow, just because I want to drag that color out, so you never know where it starts, where it ends, or anything. And I am blending it in the crease of my eyes, like under the bone. So I want to make sure that no one knows where it starts and where it ends. And I'm going to take my time to do this. Just be patient. And if I think I need more, I'm just going to add more, always around here. That way I can't and have space to blend it out. And I am going to use the same brush, and I'm going to add the same color underneath, and I'm going to blend it out. So I want this to be a little bit blown out and very dramatic. And I'm going to connect it with this color over here. So I'm going to get very close to my eyelashes to apply the pigment, and then start blending upwards and downwards. And I know it looks a little bit weird around here that you can see the eyeshadows. Once we add the bronzer, the mascara, and everything, it's going to make sense. As long as there's no harsh line there, so you don't want to see any kind of harsh line, then you're fine. I don't want to stop using that eyeshadow. This is so weird. I haven't had this effect on me for my eyeshadow since I tried the Tom Ford eyeshadows. Literally, it's that good. I'm going to add a little bit more of that eyeshadow in the inner corner of my eye just because I want to elongate my eye this way as well. And because I have rounder eyes, I feel that if I put, I don't know, too much light here, it tends to go closer together, and I don't always like that. I love the effect that gives on other people, but I don't always love it on me. So I'm going to add a little of darkness here, but I'm not coming here. So you see there's light here and then goes the darkness. I'm not touching this area over here. Okay, now I'm going to move on from that eyeshadow. And I'm going to use this pencil from NARS. This is the Mulholland Drive. And I'm going to line my eyelashes very close to your eyelashes. We're not doing a cat eye just yet. We're just going to add some depth. And I'm going to finish here. So not in the middle, but a little bit in between the eyelashes. A bit there. Okay, so when I already have that line, I'm going to start to thicken the outer part, but I'm going to start very slow. So start by thickening this bit and have a look back and just start each eye at the time because this is a very long wearing eyeliner. So if you do one eye and then the other, you can't come back to this one to fix it. And I'm going to start adding a little bit of wing. I like to do this with my eyes open, and then with a very small brush I'm going to smoke it a little bit, and then I'm going to do the other eye. I like to do this eyeliner looking to the front just because I have hooded eyes, and I will always recommend for you to do it with your eyes open anyway, just because it's easier to see the finished result instead of just guessing where it should be. Okay, and now that I have that eyeliner shape, I'm going to use the shade Garnet in the same palette, is this plum over here, and I'm going to go on top of that and also try to blend it a little bit so it's not a harsh line but a more smoked eyeliner. I am going to use the shade Amber, this one over here. It's like a gold one, just with my finger, just a tiny bit in the center to give it a little bit more light there. And I'm going back to the same brush that I used to apply the rose gold, and I'm going to add a little bit more just to make sure that I didn't cover it with the amber color. So just here in the outer corner, a little bit in the crease, and a little bit in the center again. In the center, no, in the inner corner. I am going to take again that pencil, the same that we used, and I'm going to line all the rim of the eye in the waterline and in between the lashes as well. I am going to curl my eyelashes and finish up my eyelashes with a little bit of mascara. I am going to use the CoverGirl Lash Blast mascara. Okay, eyes are done. Now we're going to finish up our face. So for my bronzer, I'm going to mix a little bit of the YSL Bronzing Stones and the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. And I'm going to apply it on my cheeks and on my forehead and everywhere I want to contour a little bit and give a little bit of warmth. I want everything to look blended anyway, so I don't want any harsh line between one thing and the other. And you can see how this eyeshadow that was left here, it starts to melt in with the eyes and everything, and that way you kind of get a whole complete look that everything complements with the other product. Okay, so I think bronzer is more than enough. Now for my blush, I want to use a mix of the Tom Ford Mood Light palette. I'm going to use the blush, and I'm going to use this as my blush, as my highlighter, as a bronzer as well, but more as a blush and a highlighter. And now I'm going to take my foundation brush and I'm going to start to press it on top of everything, and that way it's going to melt all the products together. And just tapping and pressing, I don't want to drag anything. And I do think I need a little bit of color in my face, so I am going to add blush, and I'm going to use Pinch Me by MAC, just a little bit to add some color to the face. And to finish up this look, I'm going to add some lips. This is very important because we want to have kissable lips. I'm going to use the Mellow lip liner in the color Rose. And for my lipstick, I'm going to use the Mellow liquid lip paint in the shade Berlin. So this is the finished look. I hope you liked it and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you liked it and give me a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. And I'll see you next week in the next video.